When I was 16, I ended up in the ER after I got mauled by my parents' dogs while they were at a wine tasting in Napa. And honestly, looking back now, I should have seen it coming because the house had been a powder keg for weeks with all those animals crammed into our 3-bedroom ranch-style home that was never meant to house that many living creatures. Red soaked through the gauze on my arms as the doctor stitched up the worst bite on my shoulder, the one that had torn through my t-shirt and left a gash so deep I could see layers of tissue I didn't know existed. And each pull of the thread felt like a reminder of how completely my life had spiraled into this bizarre nightmare of dog food schedules and breaking up territorial disputes instead of worrying about SATs and prom like a normal teenager. "We need to contact your parents immediately," the ER nurse said while examining the puncture wounds covering both my forearms, her fingers gentle but clinical as she cataloged each injury with a concerned furrow in her brow that told me she'd seen neglect before, but maybe not quite like this. "They're at a wine festival, but their phone goes straight to voicemail when they're tasting," I explained, trying to keep my voice steady, even though my whole body was shaking from the adrenaline crash and the horror of watching my own blood pool on the kitchen floor before the ambulance arrived. She stared at me with this expression I'd learned to recognize over the years, the one that said, "This is not normal," but I'd become so numb to abnormal that I barely registered it anymore. "They don't answer during emergencies?" she asked, her voice pitched higher with disbelief. "They say tastings are sacred time and nothing should interrupt the wine experience." I repeated their exact words I'd heard so many times they'd lost all meaning, like a mantra that justified every abandonment and every time I'd needed them, but got sent straight to voicemail instead. The nurse tried calling anyway, her jaw tightening with each ring that went unanswered, and shook her head after the 5th attempt,